Oh, what the fuck, raid? Hi, Lapis. Welcome. Shit. I was actually taking some water. I didn't see you raid. Where's the Grammary speech? Grammary, can you say again what were you going to say? History. Where are you, Grammary? Oh, there we go. Say it again.
Oh, welcome, my dearest Lapis. Your presence brings a shimmer of elegance and allure to our realm. Let's bask in the enchanting radiance together.
Yes, indeed. Dearest Lapis, welcome. Welcome to Boring Study Stream. Thank you for the raid. I was just there. Watching you survive. I think I grabbed you killing Diablo, but then I grabbed some water. I need my water. I need my water. Otherwise my throat starts to get very itchy. Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a lot of fun doing Diablo 2, as much as I had watching you play Diablo. And I hope you have more fun now doing, I think you're gonna do what? What are you gonna do with the Momo now? Wasn't it? It's not Dark Souls. Yes. Well, or well. Oh well. I'll catch you later, I guess. Elden Ring. Oh, you're gonna do Elden Ring. Then why did you stop streaming? Why did you actually stop reading streaming? Because for now we go from hack and slash non-stop Diablo to boring book reading and Wikipedia reading. Taking a small break. Oh, okay. you're just gonna raid, do a small break, and then start streaming again. Okay, thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. You crazy thing. Need my fan. Need my fan. For context, I'm doing these study streams because I need to learn more about medieval stuff because of my novels. I want to increase the quality of the world building of my novels. I have a lot of air on my head, don't question it. You do have a lot of things in your head. Air is one of them. Air is one of them. And I do enjoy a lot how you are. I do love a lot how you are, so thank you for the cute raid. I will question it though. I will question it. That is my goal to question and inspect every little quirk along about your cute little head. That is my goal. But yes, I am doing study because it is relevant to my story, extremely relevant to the current arc of my story. So I take world building quite seriously. I take a lot of effort into doing very in-depth, correct, and realistic world building. Not just world building. My characters are also very realistic and human, and with their own little without relying too much on tropes. I rarely do actual tropes for my characters. And also, I would rather make the world building more unique. So instead of just shit, I need background music. Hang on. Very quiet right now. Yeah, we're very quiet. There we go. Just speaking to the silence is not that good. So instead of relying on tropes and on popular knowledge of how medieval times work, I thought to myself, why not read a book? Well, I fucking regret that. Thank you for the headpad, Valerie. Thank you for the headpad. And oh shit, I moved Grammary. Hang on. Where is you? Grammary headpad. Okay. Let me do that one again. Just let's just see. Where's Grammary headpad? Grammary. Oh my god. I can't find it now. Grammar say headpad. Okay, there we go. There it is. Now it hits. Now it hits. I move her a little bit to the side just so that I can get more better layout. What was I saying? What was I actually saying? I kind of forgot. I don't rely on tropes. Yes, I don't rely on tropes and on old tired incorrect, historically incorrect tropes of a medieval times, like those tropes. Yeah, those tropes, exactly those tropes that you're thinking about, that I totally know about. Yes, those tropes that are actually incorrect, that everyone knows is incorrect, but everyone still uses them because they're fun. No, I want realism. I want in-depth. And on my current story, the current arc, there's gonna be an economical war. But how do you wage economic war in a medieval time? You don't really have... It's not like current, modern times where you can just mess around with trade deals. Well, there are trade deals, but there are medieval trade deals, so things work differently. The precise details of how things work is very peculiar and different, which is why I'm doing this. Basically, let's see. There's two factions who are gonna wage economical war against each other because they can't actually go to war with each other. There's some constraints that everyone's saying that, like, yeah, you guys shouldn't kill each other. If you kill each other, things are just gonna go bad. You need to fight without killing each other. One side is overly powerful, and the other side has the how do you call it? The support of the people. So one side is overly powerful, it has the support of the gods, and the other the support of the people. So it is a difficult situation where if they both fight each other, there's gonna be blood. And since they are both like kinda not bad people, they would rather not create a lot of bloodshed. Instead, they'll try to pull each other down through other ways, which means economical warfare. And one of the things that exists that is a complex system in the world is that guilds actually control the laws. There's a certain system of parliament and how do you call it? A legal system? No, how do you call it? A legal maker? It's not. Well, it's not exactly a parliament. I don't know exactly what a parliament is, which is why I'm studying it. I want to understand what a parliament is, but there's a very strong lawmaker. How do you call it? What do I call it? I can't. I had the word. Law system. Lawmakers. Legislationists. Legislative branch. I don't want to know about the United States, please. Congress. There's a specific word, but it's about legislature. Yes, a judicial executive. Judicial and executive. Well, yeah, they're kind of, yeah. There's a difference between executive, judicial, and lawmaking. I think, which is why I'm studying to make sure it's actually a certainty. So it is a very. I actually made it to be very actually powerful in the setting, in the law system. So I need to actually deepen my knowledge of the system itself, along with the economical system, so that people don't laugh at my, so that my readers don't laugh at my my childish understanding of legislation, so that my readers don't laugh at my childish, naive understanding of legislation. So I need to deepen my knowledge before I actually get into the drama, it's not drama, it's political shenanigans, yeah. I need to actually study these things. I actually did a lot of studying before for the other parts of my story. I study a lot of medieval combat and tactics, so this is not exactly unusual for me. Like, I spent hours and hours just watching video about medieval fights and how they worked and how they went. There's like a medieval war. No. Ancient battles. Oh, there's a lot of here's what battles really look like. There's a lot of channels what that actually show. It's like in the statical. Hastings. Battle Hastings. Let's see. This should be. No, not animation. Oh, like this. There's a lot of videos that bring up the battles like this. Let's see. Political. And there we go. It's almost like an RTS itself. But it's a very interesting way of seeing battles. And then you go into the details of how exactly these people work, how exactly these battalions they actually stick together, and how they don't just become a mess. How those one people from the ground, we have this bird's eye view, the person doesn't. That's the curious thing. The king doesn't have this bird's eye view of everything. So organization of an actual battle is very interesting. It's very detailed and difficult to grasp. Because of course they have their own little maps and things like that, but the maps do not actually reflect reality. So they need a communication system so they know what's going on in the battlefield, because they can't see the whole battlefield. There's way too many people. There is way too many people going on in these places. There's the little skirmishers, throwing gun, then the attack. And then there's actual places where there's not much fighting, but you can't exactly move from these places because and then they strike. And then the elite forces strike in specific points to try to break through. It's very nuanced and complicated. So I studied this a lot for the other parts of the other arcs of my stories. And now it's time to go for the boring part, which is economics, medieval economics. See, two battalions or whatever, two squads. No, I guess battalions you could say. Two battalions pushed forward. The enemy retreated, and two battalions broke rank. Instead of staying, they broke rank, but this was a feint. This was a feint. They were just retreating. And then they surrounded. I think these are cavalry. This is why they are so fast. The cavalry struck from the sides while the retreating battalion attacked again. They tried to run back, but it was already too late and got decimated. Now there are two battalions short. And then they continue the battle again. They strike again. Start to get damaged. It's difficult to break through. Oh, they actually destroyed one battalion over here. But then they have two lines, because you need two lines because it's too awkward to move these battalions around. It's not like Rome Total War where you could just give an order and the people orderly go. In the heat of battle, people start to get tired. People start to get orders start to get lost. So you need at least like two lines, a reserve line, because moving this guy from the side, and then you have a gap over here, so you move this guy from the side. Then there's a gap over here, so move this guy from the side. It is very difficult to actually move everyone around like this, you know. Just move to the side, and then they start to tremble each other, and the formation is broken, and then the battalions get mixed up. Oh, see, again. They push out. For some reason, they push out and got pushed back. And now there is a breakthrough. A break through the line. So they hit. So the reserves of the other side actually managed to hit the sides, the flanks, which is difficult to actually defend from. Quite a complex battle. Wait. Oh, it seems like the king got shot. Harold Goodwinson actually got shot in the middle of the battle, and then everyone started to retreat because word came out that the king was dead, and why would they die for a dead king? It wasn't even because they actually decimated the enemy. Like in Total War, you actually kill so much more enemies than they actually die in real life. Even those battalions that got decimated, they just broke away. Like they didn't actually get killed to the last man. They just spread out in all directions and ran. Same as these, like most of the army, like only 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4, 5 of the red battalions were actually broken. They have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And yet they still run. Still lost. Total strength 7,000 people. 7,000 people. Losses 3,000, 4,000. Ooh, that's quite a lot of losses though. Well, losses also include how do you call it? Losses also include people who desert, so I believe desert or get wounded and become incapable of fighting, so one knows what is the actual precise number. Hello, Bunkan. I see a cutie spinning. Thank you for the spinning, Bunkan. Thank you for the lurk, Valerie. And I love you, random lurker. Now, it's time to actually go back to the boring parts. I get really happy and excited when talking about tactics, but I cannot make a deep, broad book with only tactical battles. That's for the light novels. That's for the boring ass light novels. Not boring ass, but the how do I say, the shallow and basic light novels. No, over here we have everything, including political drama, political intrigue. That's the word I was looking for before. Political intrigue. And to make political intrigue, I need to know how politics work, so that's why I'm doing this. And right now I'm interested in reading about guilds. So I'm just gonna read the Wikipedia page of guilds again, because the book doesn't tell a lot about guilds. The book's very basic on what it says about guilds. Oh shit, I need to find again where was the page where we stopped on the book. Let's see, the expansion of the guilds. And it doesn't really give a good basic introduction on what guilds are on the times. Now, let me actually get some socks because my cute little feet are getting cold. Be right back. Alright, now with my feet warmed up. Unfortunately, there's nobody here to use their cute hands to warm my feet, so I had to use socks. Now, I kinda read part of it in last stream, but I wanna read more. I want it to sound like it's actually a good, long article, so I think it's interesting to read about. Guilds are basically the unions. From last stream, guilds are basically similar to modern worker unions, labor unions, but the guilds were had too much power to enforce the rules and laws they themselves made. So they got a little bit too greedy, because why wouldn't they? Because again, the judicial and legislative branches of the government from the medieval times, or not exactly medieval times, but the times of mercantilism, they were very weak. They're very weak, so the guilds had to make their own rules, make their own laws, and enforce them themselves. And to enforce things, you need violence. You need to have the power to enforce things violently. So they became kind of like a oofy. I needed to be removed from a time. Anyway, let's actually start I guess I can just read the whole article. A guild is an association of artisans and merchants who oversee the practice of their crafts trade in a particular territory. The earliest types of guild formed as organizations of tradespeople belonging to a professional association. They sometimes depend on grants of letters patent from a monarch or other ruler to enforce the flow of trade to their self-employed members, and to retain ownership of tools and to supply materials. but most were regulated by the local government. Guild members found guilty of cheating the public will be fined or banned from the guild. A lasting legacy of traditional guilds are the guild halls constructed as and used as guild meeting places. Typically, the key privilege was the only guild members were allowed to sell their goods or practice their skill within the city. There might be controls on minimum or maximum prices, hours of trading, numbers of apprentices, and many other things. Critics argue that these rules reduce free competition, but defenders maintain that they protected professional standards. An important result of the guild framework was the emergence of universities at Bologna, Oxford, and Paris. They originated as guilds of students or of masters. Yeah, and for the historical context, this was a time where there's like the laws were confusing and oppressive, and they were hampering trade. So in the time of mercantilism, everyone was trying to create laws to drain money for themselves. But the economy was evolving in a way that everyone wanted more free competition. Everyone wanted the free trade. That was the birth of the capitalism. That was the area where that was the era when capitalism was truly became a thing. And we start to get near modern times of how economy works. So guilds being too controlling were seen as hampering of the economy, so they were dealt with. They fell out of favor. But now things are coming back because we see that too much freedom is also a bad thing. Too much freedom in the economy actually just does not really work. So we are seeing the return of the guilds in the way of the labor unions. But now there's a lot more limitations on guilds. So they don't get as stifling as they used to be. Now Ramsin of Akkad, grandson of Son of Akkad, who had unified Sumerian and Assyrian to the Akkadian Empire, promulgated common Mesopotamian standards for length, area, volume, weight, time, and shekel. They're used by artisan guilds in each city. Oh, early guild-like associations, okay. There is a lot of names. I don't like when there's a lot of names because they're like meaningless. When they just give like a random names and times and the precise of examples. Holy shit, who's making barbecue at this time? Manny from my neighbor. Some barbecue meat. Christ, it's gonna make me hungry. That is not the time. That is not the time for this. Let's see. And so yeah, they're just ask for some. Well, unfortunately, I don't like this neighbor. That is the problem. I don't like this neighbor. Dream snack. I already have my snack. I'm gonna have my snack in like 30 minutes. It's gonna be my more coffee and some cookies. But yeah, unfortunately, this neighbor is the annoying kind of neighbor. The kind that makes like loud parties when you wanna sleep. Parties with loud music at like 2 a.m. where everyone was already asleep. No, not me, but my parents are. So they're not very pleasant people. I bet they also don't make good barbecue. They get you drunk. These are the kind of people that get you drunk and let the meat get a bit too cooked. So you get what do you say? Rough? It's not rough. It's hard meat. I bet they get hard meat. Hello, Mimi. How you doing? Hat is off, no protection, breeding only. Watch out, I am fertile and I'm already at that age, so I'm gonna get that child in you. I have one of those neighbors, but they mellow down, thankfully. Thank you for the hat, Banco. I appreciate it. Without a hat, I do feel it quite a lot. I need to move it. Wait, hang on. I need to move it so it's Where's the headband? Where's the headband layers? I have so many layers. I need to move it so it hits my... my head. I actually moved myself a little bit so it fits. Headband over here. It needs to be in the ear. There you go. To get my ear. Oh, what the fuck? Random topic? Ah, shit. Okay, random topic. Random topic. Let's... I don't really know any barbecue people. Well, we can continue talking about barbecues. My dad is, yeah, while you're distracted from the book. Not even book, we're just reading a Wikipedia page. Not reading our culture. Yeah, over here, people, we do barbecues through coal. Like coal and wood. Well, just coal. Wood barbecue is like when you have like scented wood for barbecues, but that's real rare. We just do normal coal. So our barbecues have, I think that's part of the reason why it tastes so good. The coal. It gets a little bit. It sounds disgusting. It might sound unhealthy or disgusting, but the coal, the smoke from the coal is actually good because it makes things like a smokier taste. It gives us slightly smokier taste. We did electric barbecue, like just have an electric oven. We did barbecue like that. It doesn't taste the same. We did oven barbecue. It doesn't taste the same. It has to be coal. Like there's that meme about propane barbecue. It's not gonna taste the same. Like with Hank Hill from King of the Hill. He has the meme about propane and propane whatever. Yeah, it doesn't taste the same. The only people frequently barbecue where I live are those who live by the beach. Damn, why do they barbecue by the beach? Well, you need oh shit, wake up, need to clear my throat. You need to have a proper barbecue place. Proper, how do I call it, barbecue oven, I guess? Because the coal makes smoke. The coal makes smell. So if you're like in an apartment system, yeah, it's gonna be difficult for you to barbecue. So it doesn't surprise me that Americans and British people and other places were like very tight, or maybe Japanese people, they don't have like a strong barbecue culture. Because you need a lot of open space and air and free flowing air, because otherwise it's gonna be unpleasant. I don't know, they just have a whole setup and food, drinks. Actually, barbecue inside hotels is quite common where I'm from. Or I mean, barbecue inside hotels. Wait, is that a new phenomenon that I don't know about? I don't know what you mean actually. Barbecue inside hospitals. Oh wait, you mean speed roasting? Oh, okay, no that. Yes. It just took me a second. But inside, because you said hotels, I'm like, what is hotel? Speed roasting is the simplest form of barbecue. You don't need to go into hotels for that. You don't need to go into hotels. Don't need to be fancy. Any bed will do, or even not even a bed. I mean, some barbecue, some speed roasting in the open air is like a dream of mine. But yeah, I'm not even that big of a barbecue person, and I know a lot about barbecues because it does stay good. It does taste good. People do it at inns, hotels there for some reason. Well, it is. Hotels are more inns. What's the difference between an inn and a hotel? I know about medieval inns, but I don't know how the modern inns are. What's the difference between a modern inn and a hotel? But yeah, no need to be fancy with that sort of things. Just be natural. A little bit of naturalism will help everyone. But over here, I'm not even that big of a barbecue person. I'm not even that much of a big... I don't know how to make barbecue myself. I'm a cook. And I don't know how to make barbecue. Like I'm the chef of the house. But I never really bothered to learn it. Your point is just tiny, relatively basic rooms. Oh, okay. I guess that could be called a hostel? Like hotel and hostel? Just the different terminology, but I know what you mean. Wait, how do they call it over here? I think they are hostel, yeah. They're like very... Yeah, we have I've been to one. I had a girlfriend once, and I've been to one. And we have like some very basic and private places where like You don't even see the attendant. Like, you're just walking with your car, talk to a person through a black screen, and they just give you the key through a drawer. And then you leave without even knowing about without even seeing the cleaner. After you leave, the cleaner just comes, and you don't even see them. Like, it's a place that's specifically for having fun. Maybe because there's room privacy. It's hard to have your own place to do that sort of thing. Yeah. The hotel suffers a rap of being haunted because of people. Haunted, okay. No, over here the small ones, not the hotels. We have big hotels, and the small ones, they're not calling inns. I think they're called hostels. I kind of forgot the name of how they're called over here. Motel. No, motel. Yeah, they're called motel. Yeah, they are very specifically placed for you to fuck. Because there's no other reason for you. We are very homely people. Like, we living like family people. Living with your family is like extremely normal over here. So you don't need a motel for anything but sex. If you want to sleep in, you go to a hotel. If you go for something like a motel is like for hour. You play for hour. A hotel you pay for a day. So the only reason you go to a motel is to fuck. Or if you're desperate enough and there's like no hotel or something like that, but that's very rare. So motels are specifically like very private, yeah, like you said. Yeah, I think some of them had multiple people going there just to hotbox barbecue. Multiple people going there. Well, I bet the motels over here also do, because you walk. Yeah, they are made for cars. Like you're not exactly supposed to walk in there. There is a walk-in entrance, but the big entrance is for cars. So you can take as many people as you want in the car. You can even put someone in the trunk. And as long as you don't meet someone coming in and out at the same time, nobody's gonna know if you... Oh shit! Hello, Grace!
Welcome, gracious raiders. Join us in the enchanting journey of pleasure and temptation. Let's weave a tapestry of indulgence and revel in the delight of the night.
Hello! Hello, raiders! Hello, Grace! And her gracious raiders. I like them. Grace and her gracious raiders. Grace Raider dog like, what the fuck? Oh shit! Oh shit! This dog has been killed, Grace. Oh shit, my dog died. Let's go! Hello, Raiders. Welcome. This is a study stream. We're supposed to be studying a book, but I was started to go on a tangent about guilds on Wikipedia. And they're talking about you. Why am I dying, then? Why am I dead? Who killed me? Who killed me? Who's gonna avenge me now? Who killed me? Back to work for me. Griffin is leaving me in the woods. What's in hell? Good luck. Zeph. I think a lot of people would be happy to be in your place. Be happy to be enslaved by Grace. Man, my kiss. Wait, what? You didn't redeem something? Oh shit. Okay. Warning, everyone. Kissing coming. There you go. I gotta give a warning because some people get surprised. Gotta be fair, like a Lapis said. Gotta be fair and give people a warning about the kiss. There we go. Indeed, boy kissing. We are boy kissing over here. Everyone, Bunkan head patting you guys right there on the corner. We appreciate your Bunkan give you all a head pat. Anyway, oh, you're actually playing, Grace. I didn't expect you to be streaming at this time. Also, thank you, Foofy. Thank you, Wolfie. Thank you, Wolfie, for the follow. You've now sold your soul to Grammar. She's gonna come and visit you after everything for a bit of life force milking. But do not worry about a bit of over milking. She has learned how not to kill people from that. Just don't stimulate her too much. Thank you to Axmakuba for the follow. You can now gather. No, what's the word? What's the word? It's not gather. You can now collect. I cast a spell upon you and jinx you to have a nice day. Thank you, Banka. The horrific jinx. You guys can. Oh shit! Anonymous gifter. Thank you, gifter, for giving me a gift. To Billy. Billy. Oh, cute Billy. Billy's actually managed to get to the VIP from 69,420. Life Force gathered. Life Force collected. It was quite the enormous release of Life Force at one time. Billy's a precious little lurker. I think he actually managed to get to 100 watch streak. He's 07 to Billy. Anyway, well, I was going on different tangents. I kind of forgot what was I gonna say. Oh yeah, what were you playing, Grace? They were playing Reventure. Super secret stream. Oh, okay, that's why you're streaming at this time. I do not expect you to stream at this time. What's Reventure? Never heard of this. Oh, it's another crafter. It is another crafter, isn't it?
Bunkum, my heart aches for your loss. I will guide Mana's spirit to the realm of bliss, where his essence will forever be intertwined with mine. Together we shall honor his memory.
Wait, I'm dead. Okay. Oh, no, I'm seeing the video from Reventure. Mute this, please. Oh, Steam, why do you unmute things? Huh? What's Reventure? Everyone, I just died. Let's go! For a huge war room. Oh, of course it's a crafter. It is always a crafter with Grace, isn't it? Metroidvania puzzle platformer. Wait, it's not a crafter actually. Oh, it's just adventure. Gear Max, okay, that's very Grace core of a game. It's a blog game with interesting endings. Also, I'm sorry, my phone almost ready to run. It's almost 4 AM. Don't! It's almost 4 AM. Go to sleep, Grace. Go to sleep, Gobby. Also, hello, Gobukus. We have a goblin proliferation over here. We have a goblin proliferation over here. Australian time, Indian. She's from down under. He's from down under. I think she only streams at the morning actually. If it's like 4 AM, yeah. What the fuck? Sleep is very extremely important. I have had a love-hate relationship with sleep, so please everyone, go to sleep at good times. Go to sleep when your body starts to feel tired. If your body doesn't feel tired, then just exercise a little bit more. You need more exercise. This is coming from someone who frequently went to sleep at like 5 AM. No, not frequently. I did went sleep at 4 AM. I used to watch a lot of people streaming. Like I was just like procrastinating and going to sleep at 4 AM and then waking up at 11 PM. But that's bad. I'm doing a lot better now. Yeah, I usually stream at 12 PM. Damn. That's kinda. Always streaming at the morning. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because Australia time. Who's watching at Australia night time? That's like morning for us. That's like early morning. That's early morning for me, who's Brazilian. It's like middle of the night for Americans. So people who are on at Australia nighttime is gonna be like the Asians. That's not a good place to. That's not really a very popular time to stream because of the different audiences. If you, I imagine sleep at 5 AM every day. Oh no, Bunkan, do we need an intervention, Bunkan? We should make an intervention for you, all of you late sleepers. I am a recovering late sleeper. My intervention before is to work. Oh, well, that's healthy, so it's not that sad. Be healthy. Blah blah blah. Be healthy. Be healthy. Be healthy. Be healthy. Honestly, yeah, I wish to go to sleep at 4 AM, but that was kind of like bad. There was like a what that was like so. I can't say exactly a bad time. Not exactly the most depressed I've been, but it was not a good time. I'm doing much better now. I go to sleep at most at 1:30 AM, which is still late. I should go to sleep earlier. I should try to go to sleep at maximum 1 AM so I can wake up at 9, but still it's difficult to change. I am still much of a night owl, but I can't be too much of a night. I'm a night owl, but I can't be too much of a night owl. Otherwise, even my body can't handle it. Otherwise, even my body can handle it. Now, was there any other tangent that was going on? Kind of went on a crazy number of tangents over here. Eventually, my life decision. Okay. Now, I was starting to read this. This is an wiki article about guilds. History of guilds. Everyone loves guilds, but nobody knows anything about guilds because, like in every media, every piece of media, every game, guilds are nowhere near what they should be in real life. So, I do have a very strong belief nobody knows anything about guilds. So, which is why I'm studying them, because it's relevant for my story. I was actually reading the book, but the book has like bad introduction to guilds, so I was reading the article itself. And then we went on a tangent about motels. What were we even talking about? Yeah, we were making a very non-sussy talk about motels and how they're just places for people to go have sex. And I was gonna say that over here, motels and hotels, there's a difference between them. Hotels are, you pay by day, motels you pay by the hour. I think in other countries, like hostels, I guess, and motels make sense, because there's a lot of people traveling, so you might just want to crash in a few hours, but over here, motels don't make sense. Motels over here don't make sense, because everyone has a home, everyone lives with their family, there's not a lot of traveling, really. Everyone lives with their family. There's not a lot of need for places for people to sleep, for travelers. So motels are mostly, almost exclusively a place for people to go have sex. And they're very focused on cars. So, on cars and privacy. So you can walk into them and nobody will know how many people you're bringing to the motel. You can even bring someone in a trunk and nobody will know. There's like so much privacy in here. The only way someone will know you're taking someone out of the trunk is that if you by chance actually come out at the same time that someone else is you come in at the same time as someone else has come out. So a very why did you even went into this tangent? I actually forgot. Why did you even come into this tangent? I actually forgot. Oh yeah, because Bunkum redeemed a random talk about a random thing, but okay. I think it's time to... I think I already rambled enough about that point. Might as well just go back to the studying itself. This part of the paragraph is way too just details. Law 27.5. They still have numbers for the law, so this part is nothing important. They're just like giving practical example of the history of how guilds were like. So I guess this paragraph seems a little bit more interesting. A type of guild known as in Roman times, known as collegium or corpus, those were organized groups of merchants who specialized in a particular craft, and whose membership of the group was voluntary. Such examples in the Corpus Naviculariorum, collegium of merchant mariners based at Rome's La Ostia port. The Roman guilds failed to survive the collapse of the Roman Empire. And also not interesting. Guilds are basically labor unions, for the people who do not know. They're basically labor unions. Modern labor unions, but the guilds of those times, the guilds of medieval times, had a lot more freedom to enforce rules and laws. So they got a bit too greedy. And actually stifled the economy. But then the economies of medieval times evolved in a way that they wanted more freedom. People just wanted more money, more exchange of money, more trade, more money, more profit, and that's the birth of modern capitalism. So the guilds died out because they needed more freedom. But then we realized there's too much freedom, and then we started going back to the labor unions again. But the specifics of the guilds of medieval times are very interesting. Yeah, free market replaced them. Yeah. But now the market's too free and people are getting fucked over by the free market. So we're like, oh yeah, no, too much freedom. Please someone help us control these things. We need more power. The laborers are getting fucked over. So And we need a little bit more protection over here. Hold up, need to clear my throat and take a sip. And take a sip here. Now, the book didn't say much about guilds, but also reading the whole Wikipedia is kind of like a long-ass article. Basically, I could spend a whole stream reading this shit, and I read it a bit some, so I'm just gonna have to glance over it. There are several types of guilds. Merchant guilds and craft guilds. There's also Rit guild. What the fuck? Rit guild. And religious guild. Guilds arose beginning the High Middle Ages as craftsmen united to protect their common interests. The German city, blah blah blah. What's a Frit guild? Frit has to do not only with the state of peace but also with nature of social relationships conducive to peace. What the f— a Frit guild? A guild of peace? Is this medieval hippies? Stability and security. Asylum, sanctuary. A Frit gear would then be any enclosed area given over to the worship of the gods. Frit too. Oh. I guess this is really the hippie guild. Some sort of medieval hippie guilds for the pagan gods. No, not interesting. It's just telling what the type of guilds were. Not exactly a lot of information about what they were. The egalitarian communities called guilds were denounced by Catholic clergy for the conjurations, dividing oaths sworn among the members to support one another in adversity, kill specific enemies, and back one another in feuds or in business ventures. Oh, that's interesting. The occasion for these oaths were a drunken banquet. let's make a binding oath sworn among members to support each other in adversity, kill enemies, and back one another in feuds and business ventures. Basically, you're gonna get married but not getting married, and we're gonna do this while drunk. That sounds very medieval for some reason. That sounds like very medieval court for some way somehow. Religious confraternities had disappeared. Fitting for the Middle Ages. Yeah, it feels very fitting. It's too funny, It feels like they're just getting married. The world feels like they're just getting married, but they're not getting married. It's silly. Religious, blah blah blah. Corpus and tears. Lots of non-interesting information. Video of command. Library companies. Survive today. That's interesting. It's always nice to see something that survived even from medieval times or longer even. Like not just the structure itself, but the organization. Factory, another thing that in the guilds. Yeah, there's a topic about this. I think there's a topic about this. Ineffective privilege industry manufacturers. There's a topic about manufacturing over here. The guilds and rural industry. Yeah, I think they talk about something. There's so many topics. Where the topic that was in was like over here. Like over here, yeah. Page 140. How many more pages? 6 streams for 100 pages. I didn't even read 140 pages. 456 pages. 469 pages. The executors of mercantilism, revolution, liberalism. Like I was saying, they needed more freedom, so Mercantilism gave way to modern liberalism. My god, and the problem is that these topics, they sound interesting for me. Some of them, at least, some of them sound interesting, so I can do a lot of skipping, but I keep getting distracted. I might as well. I think next stream I should look into a nice book to read instead of this. And held on in German cities until the 19th century. Yeah, 1300s and then the 19th century. That is a long time. That is almost modern times. Guilds being a thing. No, those city economies were controlled by guilds. Oh, see, this is another important key. The guilds controlled the economy. Some cities were quote unquote free. Where guilds were in control, they shaped labor, production, and trade. They had strong controls over industry, instructional capital, and the modern concepts of a lifetime progression of apprentice to craftsman. And then from journeyman. What's a journeyman? Oh, they're just people who are going... What's it? They're just form apprentice. Okay. They're like graduates. Yeah, they're just graduates. Eventually, to widely recognized master and grandmaster begin to emerge. In order to become a master, a journeyman would have to go on a 3-year voyage called journeyman years. Practice of the journeyman years still exists in Germany and France. Production became more specialized. Trades guilds were divided and subdivided, eliciting the squabbles over jurisdiction and produced the paperwork by which economic historians trace their development. Yeah, from the book, we know that these squabbles and this paperwork was a fucking mess. If we think that modern governments can be corrupt and bureaucratic, they have no idea how bad things were in medieval times. There is a quote. And there is the quote that I still remember. Wait, what? Confusion reigns supreme. That is a quote that I get from the book. Confusion reigns supreme. And there are lots of quotes like this. I mean, it was like one of the worst periods ever. Well, it's like, if you look at how confusing and complicated modern laws are, imagine how they were at the beginning. This is like the beginning of actual judicial system. This was the beginning of the actual laws and economic trade. And if things are complicated today, if you look at Brexit and things are complicated today, we already have history to tell us. Right now we have history to tell us how bad things could be. They were learning, they were doing everything, they were learning at this time. And they had a lot more corruption. Because the government itself was, no, still to this day, the government itself is also corrupt and trying to fumble the laws. But it was even worse in medieval times because the royals controlled the economy and the laws. So the royals were like just normal people. Instead of having a government with oversight, they had no oversight, the royals. So they were also part of the problem because they made the laws. They were corrupt themselves. They were trying to fix the corruption, but then they also corrupted the laws themselves. So it was a how do you fix that? Like every level is corrupt. Every level of the government system is corrupt. So it was one of the worst periods, but it is understandable because it was like the child period. It was the puberty of modern governments in the judicial system. They're subject to being assassinations and accusations all over the place too. Yeah. Because it was a lot more... How do you prove someone assassinated someone? It is a lot... There's no media. If you're getting oppressed, there's no media. The judges were hereditary. You had to buy your post. You had to buy your place as a judge. You had to apply your place as a judge. So it was like a... It was a doggy world, as the popular as the popular modern saying says, as the popular modern saying goes, it was a doggy world out there. If you had no power, you had to just bend over. A totem pole, a perfect totem pole, because corruption on every level, and a lot less oversight. You had no media to cry to, you had no Twitter to cry to, had no videos that you could send about people being corrupt. Nobody would listen to you, nobody would care. The judge could be nobody would there was no like internal affairs, no barely any investigations into corruption itself. So only when things got really bad were that people were saying, oh no, this has to stop. This actually has to stop. This is so bad. It's actually bad for me too. It's actually bad for everyone. We need to kind of fix this. I know we are stealing from the people, but we could steal a little bit more if we fix this. We could steal a little bit more if we fix the corruption. Well, they do care. Make too much noise until get you executed. Yeah, I mean that's what I mean by they care. But that is a different kind of care. That is a different kind of care. Did you clear my throat again? Hang on. Good thing about this stream is that I do not get dehydrated. I have to keep drinking water pretty often. And I'm someone who doesn't drink a lot of water. I do drink a lot of water, but I just drink like in specific periods. And my ad break is over, and should I stop it now? Hang on, let me measure my glucose level. I kind of need to do a snack break, but the ad break was going on and I didn't want to stop talking. Just wanted to wait until the rambling died down a little bit. If you hear a beeping, it's my blood glucose. My blood glucose thingy going on. It makes lots of beepies. Yeah, it's not gonna go down, but I need. I'm gaining. What do you call it? What do you call it? Peckish. A little bit hungry. I wanna have my snacky. Otherwise I get angry. And I get bothered. I need my foodie. I need my cookies. I guess it's self-preservation too, because if they're associated with you, they might get executed alongside. Yeah, that is definitely a thing that would happen. Why would someone stick out to you? There were lots of protests. But it was not exactly against a singular person like a judge. There was a lot difficult to do. There was protests about there were general protests about the corruption, general protests about the laws, general protests about. But targeting one people is a good way to get yourself killed. Like, get rid of that one problematic person in the village before they burn the whole village. Well, when you're to that point, I can't exactly say how murderous they were. I can't exactly say or think about how murderous they were, and that the knights were horrendous thugs. I need to study about that, actually. I need to study about that. Studying about, let's see. Hall of Fame, reading streams. I can show this. This is actually public. This is a public spreadsheet over here. I have my game list, which I have to update this. This is a public. You can find it, I think, on my schedule. You can click the schedule pick. I need to update this with my thoughts about the games. I'm being lazy about it. Also does one too. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, hidden gems. Wait, I only have this. No, hidden gems. This one should be hidden gems. Hall of Fame. Whatever. Special games. Now let's see. Book about espionage. So the book I should. How do I rent this? Token books. Knights. Wait. Knights. Corruption. And assassinations. Until later, the impulse chivalry codes on them. Yeah, I kind of heard about that, honestly. I kind of heard about that. But I don't exactly know enough about historically context of knights. The knights in my story, the knights in my novel. No, only one of my novels had knights. The other one doesn't. But the knights in one of my novels, they're like... they are subordinates of a lord. They're always subordinate of a lord. There's no independent knights. There's only ex-knights. They're like just... they're like agents. Knights is like an agent of a lord, so... It's not exactly very... There's not a lot of need of a historical context of a knight to represent them. So I didn't actually study a lot about them, but I kind of heard about something like that. They were thugs. What is a knight? Let me... Okay, time for another tangent. Knight, Wikipedia. It's a prince and knight. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Head of state. Witness. Knighthood, mountain warriors. Knight was considered a class of petty nobility. Oh, you can see the evolution. You can see the evolution. Equitas. Equitas were like just cavalrymen, because you needed to have your own armor. As in quite a lot of medieval times, you needed to have your own armor. You need to have your own horse, and to maintain your armor in your horse, in your weapons, you need to have money. Which means that you were like a sort of bourgeoisie. You needed to have a minimal level of wealth. And wealth and class was like hand in hand. So you go from just warriors to class, to being a title conferred upon mounted warriors, to being small nobility, and becoming with the ideals of chivalry. By the late Middle Ages, the rank had become associated with the ideals of chivalry. The perfect courtly Christian warrior. And then they start to get involved with religion. Starts as just something about... What's the hippens? Okay. It starts just as a soldier who has money and become distinguished because there's some glory. There's some glory related to being a cavalryman. Because you're not a grunt. And you're unlikely to die. You're less likely to die because cavalrymen can only be used in certain positions, and they're very important. They're very important, but they're like, how do you say? They're just specific. They just can be used in specific ways. Yeah, lords often have fields with each other. Would send knights over to kill other serfs. The cause was introduced to keep these thugs in check. The cause was introduced to keep these thugs in check. Well, in my story, it's not like... It is it's like an officer. How do you call it? Wait, let me just search for the specific word. In my story, a knight is... kind of like police. His job is to take a look over the territory, police it, and keep problems and work on problems that the Lord himself cannot. They're like the hands of the officers. They're the hands of the lords. But there's not a lot of serf killing in this world, at least. It's a very religious world, so killing innocents is a very... I made it very ruthless and a bit brutal. But at the same time, there's not a lot of cruelty because the gods in this world, the world of Rupegia, they are very active. So there's not much of a chivalry code as much as there is a code of conduct for everyone. So killing serf is very, very, very easily gonna brand you as a heretic, and then murdered. It'd be a good night. Look at what happened to the Templars. What do you mean by that, though? Look what happened. I remember that the Templars were like suppressed by the kingdoms, but I don't exactly understand what you mean by that. I need to study the Templars more. They're kind of cool. They're kind of cool. There's so much, as you can see on the... There is so much stuff I need to study. And I've been spending 6 streams on just this book of Mercantilism. But not exactly study. Some of these are like just... Well, they kind of count as studying because I'm studying the media itself, like the writing itself. Well, this one I already did, really. This one I already did, really. I need to move this one somewhere else. Already finished this one. Finished. Let's do a little bit of timekeeping over here. Holy shit! I did the wrong one. There we go. Now, read insert. Let's make it pretty, this thing. It annoys me when it's not as pretty. Ew. This blue color. No, this one is too... yeah. And then we do this one with green. There we go. Now it's pretty. One day I'm gonna read all of these things. One day! It's gonna take years for me to read this stuff. French king owed them money. Decides to persecute them en masse under heretical accusation to read. Oh, yes! Something like that, I remember. Just vaguely read about that somewhere, I don't remember too much. I'm not a historian, so my knowledge is mostly about tactics itself rather than general history. My knowledge is mostly about tactics and medieval combat. So they've been pretty much villainized heavily since then. Witness conspirators are devil worshippers. Oh god, Assassin's Creed is perpetuating the myth of the Bad Templar. Assassin's Creed is well, it is historically correct, I guess. I guess Assassin's Creed is historically correct in a way. In a way. Yeah. There's quite a lot of these things about being villainized, so... about history, about how do you call groups being villainized just so that they make... groups being villainized just so that someone can skirt a duty or something like that. Pretty much why quite a lot of wars were started. They had to villainize the enemies so that the people will feel content going there, sending their men to go there and kill them. You can't just start a war with another nation and have your people like, what the fuck, we like these guys. You had to villainize them. So this leads to a lot of modern problems because this villainization kind of took hold because there's a lot of bad blood between people. This villainization took a hold, made roots, and now it's kind of difficult to remove. I mean, any kind of order that had too much power influence that looks like a threat to the monarchs ends up like that. Well, I guess I won't exactly know since I don't have that much in-depth knowledge. You're a bit of a historical buff yourself, Mimi. You're a history buff. I'm a tactics nerd. I am a tactics nerd. I like war. I like combat. I like seeing people brutally murder each other in a way while I'm safe in my home. But history itself, I don't exactly learn a lot. I know a lot about popular. How do you call it? Not popular. Random tidbits of information. Plenty of that in history. I know a lot about random tidbits, but I never went into very deep into these things. I'm a nerd, but not that much of a nerd. Mimi is actually a bigger nerd than me. Oh my god, how is that possible? Mimi is a bigger nerd than I am. That's actually a good thing. Nerd seems this nerd is a compliment, not an insult. I am a proud nerd myself. I was thinking about adding about villainization into the things to read, but that's not exactly relevant to my story. There is not a lot of villainization, at least not on these arcs or in any of the near arcs that are gonna come. Oh yeah, something about... Maybe I can add Maybe I can add below. Villainization of villainization of what? People and culture. Justify what? That can be like a topic for like the way ahead in the years when I'm in a very different arc from this one. They specifically don't, in this arc, the two sides specifically don't want to go into war because they are like the same race, technically. So they're like, I'm not gonna kill my brother. Well, I want to kill this dude. This dude is my enemy. I would like to kill him, but I can't because he's my brother. If I start a war, we might actually get... The people might actually turn on us if we start a war. So they can't actually fight. They have to find other ways to do that. Now, where were we? Guess I can continue. Guess I can continue reading. It's a bit loud for the stream. It's a bit lower. There we go. What song is this? I really like it. 107 is A Night of the Wind. Onyx and the Black Knight. Damn, this one is really good. I might actually play it again once it's over. Well, they had wars going for hundreds of years during that period. Is it really much of a war? Is it just as a unstopping rivalry? Is it really that much of a war, or is it just like unstopped rivalry? Because at this point, like, yeah, killing each other like that, well, it's technically a war. It's just like they never really... The hostilities die down, but they never actually made peace with each other. So there's like a... constant little clashes. That was, I assume it was. Because when people, like, say, going wars for hundreds of years, people think about constant, non-stop, heavy fighting. But it wouldn't be like that. They would actually run out of men real quickly if it was like that. So it's more of a... So I assume it's more of a... The fighting died down, but they never made peace. And they were still, like, raiding and clashing constantly. They're just throwing insults at each other over the border. It's usually over the throne areas. Oh. Yeah, this one is also would be another one too interesting. My biggest knowledge of my deepest knowledge about War of Thrones is Game of Thrones. That historically accurate history about a political fight over the throne is the deepest, is the most deepest. Jesus Christ, how do I phrase this? It's the most in-depth of what I know about royalty, about the stripes of royalty. There are so much things that you need to study, but at one point I need to be practical about there's like 29 things that I need to read about. But at one point you have to be very practical with it, because everything's interesting, adding more details. It's kind of an obsession with adding more details that I have. My story is already complex enough. Sometimes I even forget details myself. It's hard to keep everything inside my mind at some point. But yet I want to keep adding more. It's like a... It's like a... unstable tower? It's almost like a... how do you call it? A tower of cards? A pyramid of cards? Tower of cards? A pyramid of cards? Where I just keep adding more and more until someday I'm gonna break up. I'm gonna have a marathon breakdown trying to keep up with all of the details that I added to my stories. That is also that is one of the strengths of my writing, but also one of the weaknesses. It's gonna kill me one day. It's gonna literally kill me one day. Commodity money? Wait, what's this? Wait. The appearance of the European guild was tied to the emergent money economy and to urbanization. Before this time, it was not possible to run a money-driven organization, as commodity money was the number way of doing business. Oh. Emergent money economy. This is interesting. No matter how bad their current civilization is, looking back at the period always gives some hope. Yeah. We are, for as little of the quality of life, the deep in quality of life is basically that we have. Like in the US, from what I know, there's like a little drop in the expectancy of life in the latest decade or something. So for as much as the quality of life drops in our modern times, it is basically, if you take a look at the whole of human history, it's imperceptible. It's imperceptible. They had the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in full force. Yeah, the Black Death. We all know the Black Death. We all know about the hundreds of years of war. What are the other 4 horsemen? What are the 4 horsemen? Death, famine, war, and conquest. War and conquest are the same, kinda. Death, famine, and war. Disease, famine, and war. Disease, famine, and war. And they may be for it. If you're gonna... Pretty much. Well, the thing is, famine, war, and conquest. Like, where's the disease? I guess death is disease, but famine and war also lead to death. So it's like a bit of an overlap over here. If I had to make my own horseman of the apocalypse, it would be famine, war, disease. Famine, war, disease. Yeah, that's the thing. Famine, war, disease always lead to death. All lead to death. I guess they could lead to suffering instead of just death. But still. And then death is kind of like an outlier, both an outlier and also an overlapping with this. Like, this causes suffering and death, this causes suffering and death, and disease also causes suffering and death. So death. I don't really like this. If I was gonna put the horsemen of apocalypse on my story, I would not make them like that. I'd not make the 4 of them like that. It feels weird. Feels weird. Murder rate was insanely high in the disconnected from the other 3. But that alone works. But that also fits in war, like war is people killing each other, so murder is the same thing as war, but just in a... Murder is the same as war, just on a bigger scale. Well, you know what they say, 1 death is a tragedy. 1,000,000 death is a statistic. So there is a bit of a differentiation, but if you're gonna have a... If you're gonna have a very distinct system that feels neat, I will not put 4 horsemen, I'll just use 3. Usually war has more ambitious reasons than he look at me funny. Well, in the end they also go... Well, not really though. He look at me funny. That's a lot of war that happened because one person was offended by the other. There are a lot of words that happen because one person was offended by the other. Money, women, and offense are basically the 3 ways that war happen. Money, or maybe resources, or profit, or greed. Greed, woman, and offense are the 3 ways that the war starts. Man, women are a plague on the word. I'm sorry. I just had to say it. It was a joke. Can't live with them, can't live with them. Can't live without them, can't live with them. Territory squabbles, yeah. Yeah, that falls under greed. That falls under greed. I'm very fond of having a neat, distinct system. Like it's, yeah, I guess that's not very realistic though. You can see on the first horseman, death, famine, war, and conquest. Like it's not a perfectly neatly organized system, organized lore, piece of lore. It has its own. It's just something that works. Like it's also missing. It's also missing disease. So having a perfect lore that's not confusing, or a little abstract, is not really realistic. It feels artificial. It feels artificial. Unfortunately, I like this perfectly alignment of things. Unfortunately, I like them. And it's kind of a thing that I struggle a lot with. Sometimes I make things a little bit too neat and I need to add some uncertainty and some chaos and some weirdness to it. But people enjoy my lore, so who knows? Who knows? I actually do need to make a break though. 17th century, the second resurgence of the guilds in the second half of the 17th century, symptomatic of Louis XIV, Jean-Baptiste administration's concern to impose unity, control production, and reap the benefits of transparent structure in the shape of efficient taxation. We read us about the book. The economy was a mess over there. Like everyone was stealing from everyone. So there was a lot of effort from, I think I read this, Louis XIV and Colbert. There's actual names from the book. There's actual names on the book where people were trying to fix the laws and destroy the corruption because they wanted to make things better. Because, well, they wanted to steal a little bit from themselves. They also want to get their own corruption. But they also wanted to fix everything up. I think we read about these two persons being important. Okay, I actually need a break now. We had been talking non-stop ever since the raid. Be right back. I might as well just run the ads now so it doesn't bother me later. I'm gonna get some snackies, a little bit more coffee, and some cookies. I need to eat some coffees and cookies. I just took coffee before the stream. I didn't take my cookies, so I'm hungry. See you guys in 3 minutes. Good idea. Yeah. Yeah, my water is also gonna know. See you guys in 3 minutes. Bye bye. Alright. Back. Oh yeah, now I'm feeling good. I'm listening to this song again. This one was good. Did the spell one go off? Did the spell go off on that screen in Bunken? I don't know if I had the overlays for it. Oh, the sound may not have played. The sound may not have played. Let me see, do I have the thing for the... I should have, do I? Wait, no, that's not the correct screen. Where is it? And the break screen. Do I have everything? I should have it on the overlays. Should have gone. Oh, but no sound yet, because the overlay was muted. Let's cast another one. The sound is important. Where is the spell? Where the hell is cast a spell? Whoa, I can't even find my own redeems. What the fuck? I'll use my wand to cast a spell. Thank you for using my wand to cast a spell, Bunker. What is this? Die from cuteness. That is a worthy death for everyone here. I'm sure nobody would, go against dying from cuteness. Sounds like a fun time to me. They don't have anything on my side screen. I have this page is only my screen is quite big. I have a big and wide screen. It's what do you call it? 4K? No, it's not 4K. It's 2K. 2K Quad HD. It's a 140p, so it's pretty wide. And this only takes half the screen, so the other half is pretty lonely. So let me actually lurk someone. Sometimes I lurk someone's streams while I'm doing this. Ultra wide. Yeah, it's called like Quad HD. There's HD, which is like 80p. Yeah, it's in between 4K and 180p in HD. 2560 pixels horizontal and 1440 vertical. It's pretty big. I usually, when I'm doing these reading streams, I usually lurk someone's stream, so I kind of forgot to do this today. Shit. Is Lapis live again? Oh, she is live. What the fuck?
Okay.
She raided me just to have a break and then went live again. What the fuck? Anyway. Sometimes I like to have people playing like games. I'm very filtered by the game that people play. Unfortunately, there's people that I like, but I don't like the games that they play, so it is so hard to actually watch some people. Quite a lot of people, honestly. Let's see. Oh, Rigolit's playing Forgotten Realms Demon Stone. This is an interesting game, so it's janky as fuck. And there's quite a lot of graphical bugs because it's an emulator of a PS2 game. But it looks interesting, so I'm just gonna leave it on the side. I used to watch let me see if I can quickly find this. Because it's good. Cypher, is this one? No, Kawaii Games, yeah. It was just like 24-hour PS1 game long plays, like just video after video of random PS1 games. Oh, he's not live anymore. What the fuck? Why is it? Wait, is it live? No, he should be live. YouTube, please. YouTube is showing me a video of him, but not where to go to catch him live. Okay, I'm in his channel and YouTube doesn't show me that he's live. I have to search his name to actually get this video. I used to have this video on like when I'm writing or when I'm doing the streams. And he's just playing random PS1 games to distract me, my ADHD brain. No, I'm not ADHD, but I do need a little bit of stimulation to get through this. Now, where were we about this study? I really like the song, damn. It's stalling. Sonic and the Black Knight. Why does Sonic has the best music? Like, this doesn't sound like it's a Sonic song. Journeyman production, we are here. The appearance of this one was a passage that was interesting. The emergent money economy into urbanization. Before this time, it was not possible to run a money-driven organization, as commodity money was the normal way of doing business. Commodity money. Oh, okay. Okay. But it's the gold coins. It is the gold coins. Yeah, and in the age of the guild is when the paper money started to become a thing. It was still backed by gold, as I saw in the so-called gold standard. So it was still which is different from the current day age money, which is the fiat one. But it was still the paper money. And they needed banks and other things to make this money work, so it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work on a rural place. It had to be a very well developed. Why? I don't understand the relationship. The appearance of the European guilds was tied to the emergent money economy and to urbanization. But why? Before this time, it was not possible to run a money-driven organization, as commodity money was the normal way of doing business. But why? Why was it not possible? I mean, it's because of urbanization, but why did the European guilds lead? No. It's not because the European guild was tied to the emergent money economy, into urbanization. It's because of these things that happened that the European guilds managed to flourish. But why? What does European guilds has to do with paper money? I guess urbanization makes sense because you have some big cities. So you have a lot of craftsmen that are like constraining to a small area. So it's easy to make a group of craftsmen. Craftsmen. Am I pronouncing this right even? Craftsmen. Craftsman. Such a weird word. English, why do you have to be like this, English? Why do you have to be weird like this? So, okay. The guilds needed a lot of people gathering in a small location so that it would be worth it to make such a big organization that controlled the trade. But why does money economy? What does it have to do with money economy? I don't get this part. I guess it's because it made more standardized the way that exchange trade was working, so you could have a lot more flow of money. Like when you have like this commodity money, you have to trade. Yeah, I want this apple. I pay these coins, but there's a lot of coins in those period of time. We read those on the book. There are different coins with different values, multiple of them, in one city. So there's a lot of complications about trade. And people needed to know the value of these things. So you want to trade a coin for this coin plus this coin plus this coin, and the guy like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's the you had to barter. You had to barter a bit. Convince the other person that this was an unworthy trade. But with paper money, things become more standardized even. Well, there are different types of paper money, but it was also easier to carry because gold coins are heavy. Paper money is easy to handle, easy to count, and had a more standardized value because the coins themselves could be badly made. The from yeah, this is the conclusion that I took from last stream. The paper money it has a more standardized exchange rate between the paper monies because they're based on the price of gold. So this coin, this paper, this piece of paper means you have this amount of weight in gold you can get from the bank. This other paper means you have this amount of weight in gold. So it's easier than this coin that has this amount of valuable metals in it, which can be, and the coin can have a different way. They can scam you by making coins of different size, shapes, mixing up with cheaper metals. So its value is lower, but they don't tell it's with cheaper metals. So there's a lot of complications with standard money. With paper money, it becomes more streamlined, easier to make trade. But what does it actually have to do with the guilds? I guess it's something about standardization of labor. Like, it doesn't really have anything to do with guilds in specific. It's just good in general. Easier in general to make trade like this. Well, I guess because the guilds, I'm gonna assume that it's because the guilds set standards for things. The guild set standards for the products themselves and for how much you could sell these products for. The guilds made standards for how much you could sell these products for. So if you have you can sell for this amount of gold, for this money, for this amount of money. But if you have like I say commodity money, you have this product, you can sell it for this price of this thing, for this amount of coin. But sometimes they sometimes they add other things along with it, like. There's also this other coin. There's also this other valuable thing. It becomes a lot more hard to set standards. But then standards is the set of things. Standards is the core of what the guild is. So standardizing the trade becomes easier if the money itself is standard. Aye. Twice enough had it with some coins having more silver in them. So people just buy those and smelt them into bars or something. Oh. Yeah, I saw this plot also in other anime. It's an interesting plot because it tells of the difficulty of having a trading. Because how do you make something safe from counterfeit? How do you make coins? How do you make coins that are immune to counterfeit? I guess that's how you say it in English, counterfeit. Because people don't have an analytical eye that they can just analyze the metal contents of a coin and say, yep, this coin is 99% silver plus 1% of other thing. This coin is valuable. This coin has 99% silver. This one has 90% silver. So this one is less valuable. People can do that. I think gold is also another, because you can have a metal that looks like kind of gold. So you melt them together. You add another cheap metal to gold, and they keep like they look similar, but then they weight differently, and I think it's harder or more soft. The coin becomes harder or more soft or something like that. So that's how they would identify counterfeit money. But again, I only know these things from surface level. So that's why I'm doing these streams to study. Now, I guess I can move on. The guild was at the center of European handicraft organization into the 16th century. In France, a resurgence of the guilds in the second half of the 17th century, symptomatic of Louis XIV. Oh wait, no, I already read this one. I already read this paragraph. Yeah, these two guilds were famous in the book. In this book. They're famous in this book. The guilds were identified with organizations enjoying certain privileges. Letters patent. What is letters patent? Is this the early patent system? Or patent system? How do you pronounce this?
Patent.
Sure hope this is the meaning of it. Are a type of legal letters patent are a type of legal instrument in the form of published written order issued by a monarch, president, or the head of state, generally granting an office, rights, monopoly, title, or status to a person or corporation. Oh, basically, it's just a general patent, but instead of for creation of items, just something more general. Giving a right. Or for granting status or coat of arms. Others patent are issued for the appointment of representatives of the crown. Okay. Oh yeah, a particular form of letters patent has evolved into the modern intellectual property patent. Okay, yeah. Usually issued by the king or state and overseen by a local town business authority. Some kind of chamber of commerce. These were the predecessors of modern patent or trademark systems. The guilds also maintain funds in order to support infirm or elderly members, as well as widows and orphans of guild members, funeral benefits, and a tramping allowance for those needing to travel to find work. Tramping. Well, a curious word. From what I know, tramp is a different meaning. So tramping is like what? Ayo, what? Huh? Oh. As the guild system of the city of London declined during the 17th century, the lively companies transformed into mutual assistance fraternity along such line. Okay. European guilds imposed long standardized periods of apprenticeship, made it difficult for those lacking the capital to set up for themselves or without the approval of their peers to gain access to materials or knowledge, or to sell into certain markets, an area that equally dominated the guild's concerns. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why they were like put down, because they had a bit too much control. They instead of just being for good, like just something positive that'll help, they're also stifling competition. Making the economy more stagnant, and that's not good. That is not good. The defining characteristic of mercantilism in economics, which dominated most European thinking about political economy, into the rise of classical economics. Yeah, classical is like... wait. Okay. I was gonna say classical is like the predecessor to modern, but when you look like classical period can also mean like ancient, so like, yeah, this is not a good analogy to make. The guild system survived the emergence of early capitalism, began to divide guild members into haves and dependent have-nots. The civil struggles that characterized the 14th century towns and city were struggles in power between the greater guilds and the lesser artisanal guilds, which depended on piecework. What's piecework? Oh. It's a worker is a type of work employment where the worker is paid a fixed piece rate for each unit produced or action performed, regardless of time. In Florence, they were openly distinguished the arti maggiore and the arti minori. Already, there was a popolo grasso and a popolo magro. Fiercer struggles were those between essentially conservative guilds and the merchant class, which increasingly came to control the means of production and the capital that could be ventured in expensive schemes, often under the rules of guilds of their own. German social historians trace the revolution, the urban revolution of guild members against a controlling urban patriciate, sometimes reading into them. However, received foretastes of the class struggles of the 19th century. What the fuck is this whole paragraph? I could not understand this whole... No, not the paragraph, this whole sentence of it. In the countryside, where guild rules do not operate, there was freedom for the entrepreneur with capital to organize cottage industry. It's a cottage industry. Is an industry primarily manufacturing, which includes many producers working from their homes and was often organized during the putting out system. The biggest participants in the system were the merchant capitalists and the rural worker. The merchant would put out basic materials to the cottage workers, who then prepare the materials in their own homes and return the finished merchandise back to the merchant. Huh. Sewing, lace making, wall hangings, or household manufacturing. Industries which are nowadays usually operated from large centralized factories were cottage industries before the Industrial Revolution. Business operators would travel around the world buying raw materials, delivering them to people who would work on them, and then collecting the finished goods to sell, or typically to ship to another market. One of the factors which allowed the Industrial Revolution to take place in Western Europe was the presence of these business people, who had the ability to expand the scale of their operations. Especially the coastal rural artisans engaged in cottage industries. Such industries were very common at a time when much of the population was engaged in agriculture, because the farmer and their families often had both the time and the desire to earn additional income during the part of the year, winter, when there was little work to do farming or selling produce. Interesting. Network of cottagers who spoon and wove in their own premises on this account, provided with their raw materials, perhaps even their looms, by the capitalists who took a share of the profit. Thus a dispersed system could not so easily be controlled where there was a vigorous local market for the raw materials. Wool was easily available in sheep-free regions, whereas silk was not. I see. An interesting counterpoint to the guild system. An interesting antagonism, counter whatever, to the guild system. In Florence organization. In Florence, Italy, there were 7 to 12 greater guilds and 14 lesser guilds. The most important of the greater guilds was that for judges and notaries. Ooh, a guild of judges. What's a notary? Under the legal business of all the other guilds and after served as an arbitrator of disputes. Notary. What's that? A notary public. Common law is a public officer constituted by law to serve the public in a non-contentious matters usually concerned with general financial transactions, estates, deeds, powers of attorney, and foreign international business. A notary's main functions are to validate the signature of a person, for the purpose of signing a document. Oh, administer oaths and affirmations. Okay. I think we have a different name. Oh yeah, tabelion. Yeah, that's what we call it over here. I did not know how it was called in English. What's this? Commodity money. Okay, I can just close it. The greater guilds include the guild and sick, blah blah blah. They prided themselves on a reputation of a very high quality work, which was rewarded with premium prices. The guild's fine members who deviated from standards. Guild includes those of doctors, blah blah blah. They had a sizable membership, but lacked the political and social standing necessary to influence city affairs. Guilds had a lot of power. Just the ranking up of guild members over here. Attorneys could spend. Blah blah blah. Not interesting. Oh, blah blah blah. No, more nothing interesting. Just talking about journeymen and how they could, how they would become masters. The medieval guild was established by charters or letters patents or similar authority by the city or the ruler, and normally held a monopoly on trade and its craft within the city. in which they operated. Handicraft workers were forbidden by law to run any business if they were not members of a guild, and only masters were allowed to be members of a guild. Before these privileges were legislated, these groups of handicraft workers were simply called handicraft associations. Town authorities might be represented in the guild meetings and thus had a means of controlling the handicraft activity. This was important since towns very often depended on a good reputation for export of a narrow range of products, of which not only the guild but the town's reputation depended. Oh, yeah, I mean, back then reputation was even more important because, well, it's still important to this day. You can still have a lot of find a lot of low quality, unexpectedly low quality products from companies, which can ruin their reputation. You're paying a lot of money and you're trusting that they're gonna give you a high quality product. Because who markets themselves as selling low quality product or selling cheaper, lower quality? Who marks themselves as selling that? Nobody does it. So from medieval times to this day, reputation is super important for a company. For any sort of trade, for any sort of sale. Controls on the association. Controls on the association of physical locations to well-known exported products. Example: wine from the Champagne and Bordeaux regions of France. Thin glaze earthwares from certain cities in Holland. Lace from Chantilly, etc. help to establish a town's place in global commerce. Thus led to modern trademarks. Yeah. Champagne, Bordeaux, Lace, Chantilly. Is it called Chantilly or Chantilly? Well, in Portuguese it's called Chantilly, but how is it? How do you guys pronounce it in English?
Chantilly.
Chantilly, okay. Weird. Why are you guys so weird? Huh? English speakers, why are you guys so weird? Why do you have to speak weird? In German and Italian cities, the more powerful guilds often had considerable political influence and sometimes attempted to control the city authorities. This is one of the reasons why it fell, again, in the 14th century. Thus led to numerous bloody uprisings, during which the guilds dissolved town councils and detained patricians in an attempt to increase their influence. Holy shit, this is actually massive. Imagine the labor union imagine your local labor union taking the mayor hostage and then also the bourgeoisie, how do you call it, the CEOs. Well, the CEOs would be nice to see them. Would be nice to see them take hostage for us. But the city mayors dissolving the city councils. Damn. 14th century Northeast Germany. People of Wendish Slavic origin were not allowed to join some guild. Oh, of course. Of course. Prejudice and racism in medieval time. All classic. Down into the 18th century, no German guild accepted a Wend. Guilds of merchants in the Russian Empire. Beh. All of the guilds. This one is, I think I already saw this one, read some of it. But I don't think I read it all. I think I just skimmed over. Let's go. All of the guilds. This is also interesting. But Juvie, I heard his name before. Many times. How does the guilds negatively affect quality, skills, and innovation? Through what economists now call rent-seeking, they impose deadweight losses on the economy. This is another thing that I kind of wanted to see. Understand rent-seeking. How does it work? The word rent does not refer specifically to payment on a lease, but rather to Adam Smith's division of incomes into profit, wage, and economic rent. Okay. Yeah, this is why it's confusing. You see rent seeking, like, what? Rent? Well, we pay rent, but that's not that kind of rent. It's another economic specific time of rent. The origin of the term refers to gaining control of land or other natural resources. The Origins economy theory describes rent-seeking in terms of land rent, where the value of land largely comes from the natural resources native to the land, as well as collectively paid for services. For example, state schools, law enforcement, fire prevention, and mitigation services. Okay. Rent-seeking to the origist does not include those persons that may have invested substantial capital improvements to a piece of land, but rather those that perform in their role as a mere title holder. This dividing line between rent-seeking and a property developer, which need not be the same person. Oh, I think this makes sense. Rent-seeking is just people who want to control something that's valuable. The only thing they want is control. While on the other hand, if you invest into something, it's actually positive. But if you just want to control, you're just fighting. It's basically just economic war. Medieval wars of conquest for territory squabbles, but on an economic way. You're just fighting for the control of, I don't know, a manufacturing. You're just fighting for the control of the economy of a certain product by pulling down other producers. Instead of investing in them, instead of investing in the different factories, in different companies, you're trying to put them down and dominate them. I guess that is a nuance, but distinct way of behaving. One just creates more problems, more losses, more energy wasted fighting each other, while the other is just straightforward investment. Take money and grow, and then share your profits with me. Of course, that's gonna be inducive to grow. I see. Or at least that is what I assume. Let's see. Rent-seek is an attempt to obtain economic rent, yet the portion of income paid to a factor of production in excess of what is needed to keep an employee in its current use, by manipulating the social or political environment in which economic activities occur. Yeah, basically what I was saying, but in a proper formal way, rather than creating new wealth. Rent-seeking implies extraction of uncompensated value from others without making any contribution to productivity. You take control of... If you want a gamer example from what I think it is, it's like EA. No, is it? I was gonna say like EA buying a company and then wrecking it, but I don't think that's exactly rent-seeking. I mean, they are buying the company, so they want profit. They are like investing, but they are also, I guess it's just bad management. EA doesn't, Electronic Arts does not fit as an example of this. Let's see. Rent-seeking implies extraction of compensation, blah blah blah. Because the nature of rent-seeking implies a fixed cost payment. Only wealthy participants engage in these activities as a means of protecting their wealth from expropriation. In many market-driven economies, much of the competition for rents is illegal, regardless of any harm it may do to an economy. However, various rent-seeking behaviors are illegal, such as the forming of cartels or the bribing of politicians. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry for you Americans, but how do you call it? Lobbying is bribing. Rent-seeking is distinguished in theory from profit-seeking, in which entities seek to extract value by engaging in mutually beneficial transactions. Profit-seeking in the sense is the creation of wealth, while rent-seeking is profiteering by using social institutions such as the power of the state to redistribute wealth among different groups without creating new wealth. Okay. In practical context, income obtained through rent-seeking may contribute to profits in the standard accounting sense of the word. Tulloch paradox is the apparent paradox described by economists Gordon Tulloch on the low cost of rent-seeking relative to the gains from rent-seeking. The paradox is that rent seekers wanting political favors can bribe politicians at a much lower cost, at a cost much lower than the value of the favor of the rent seeker. For instance, a rent seeker hopes to gain $1 billion from a particular political policy, may need to bribe politicians with merely $10 million, which is about 1% of the gain to the rent seeker. Yeah, this is a known issue that politicians are too cheap. This is the problem, because you need a lot of effort, you need a lot of energy, you need a lot of knowledge to invest into something, because just throwing money at someone is not gonna bring a lot of good results. You're just gonna waste your money. You just throw around the money at people. You smack someone in the face with a wad of bills and says, "Give me money, make this money, make more money," and they're like, "Make this money and multiply it." They're like, "What?" You can't just do that to a random person. You need to put a lot of effort into it. While pulling other people down can be quite cheap. Quite cheap, unfortunately. Because people are easily corruptible. And trust is easily broken. Trust is easy to break trust, and it's hard to build it. But it's easier for you to be sneaky, be shady, than it is for you to make a mutually beneficial relationship. Those take time and effort. Luigi Zingueus, moving on. Luigi Zingueus frames it by asking, why is there so little money in politics? Because a naive model of political bribery and or campaign spending, resulting beneficiaries of government subsidies being willing to spend an amount approaching the value of the profits derived from the subsidies themselves, when in fact only a small fraction of that is spent. Possible explanations. 1. Voters may punish politicians who take large bribes or live lavish lifestyle. This makes it hard for politicians to demand large bribes from rent seekers. Competition between different politicians eager to offer favors to rent seekers may beat down the cost of rent seeking. Jesus Christ, this is so depressing. Lack of trust between the rent seekers and the politicians due to inherently underhanded nature of the deal and the unavailability of both legal recourses and reputational incentives to enforce compliance. Push down the price that politicians can demand for favors. Rent seekers can use a small part of the benefit gained to make contributions to the politicians who provided enabling legislation. It is so depressing to read about this. It's like exposing the flaws of humanity. Exposing the flaws of humanity into neat and very logical bullet points, into 4 neat and very logical bullet points. It's so depressing to read about this. It's one of the reasons why I dislike engaging in modern politics, because everything's so depressive to me. Like, we are so flawed as humans. We are so flawed as humans. It's interesting to explore those flaws into fantasy writing, into what do you call it? Fiction. It's interesting to study these flaws in fiction. It's not interesting to see this applied in real life. I'm already depressive enough. I read stories for escapism, not for not for being reminded of how things suck. Not to be reminded of how things suck. So this is one of the reasons why I don't study this thing a lot. Everything's very depressive. Everything is very depressive. The classic example of rent seeking, according to Robert Schiller, is that of a property owner who installs a chain across a river that flows through the land and then hires a collector to charge passing boats a fee to lower the chain. There is nothing productive about the chain or the collector, nor do passing boats get anything in return. The owner has made no improvements to the river and is not adding value in any way, directly or indirectly, except for themselves. All they're doing is find a way to obtain money from something that used to be free. Yeah, they're just extorting people. Just extortion. Pope, a woodcut of the Pope using the temporal power to grant authority to a ruler, contributing generously to the Catholic Church. The fuck? I don't get what the... Without this description over here, I will have no idea what the hell is going on over here. It takes me some time to analyze this. Okay, this dude has a crown. He may be something important. This dude has armor. This dude like a priest. Oh, here's some money. Okay, what's going on with this money? I can't exactly see what's going on with this money. What's going on? This hand is... The priest is... This dude giving the money? I can't exactly see because of the quality. This dude... Wait, are they offering the money to the or are these guys giving the money to these guys over here? But this one is also carrying something. So is it... It's likely that this money is for this person, and this thing is also for this person. They're like offering tribute. Who the fuck is this ugly dude? Look at the schnoz of this dude. Look at the massive nose of this dude compared to the little thing over here. Look at this dude. This author had something against this dude. Look at the bow cut. He has an ugly bow cut and a huge nose. What the fuck? I'm more interested in who this person is. Look at the shin. This author had someone in mind. This artist had someone in mind when he made this ugly motherfucker over here. Now over here, Pope. Okay. No, Bishop. Bishop, I guess. This one looks like something religious. This, whatever. This looks like another crown. I don't know who these dudes are. They have robes. Maybe there's some... Yeah, they could be some clergy or scholars or something. This one also has the monk ball cut. Oh yeah, 2 monks over here. But what the fuck is this? What is he doing this? Like, is this like a political cartoon? A medieval political cartoon. It's a medieval political cartoon, but without the big ass letters. All that's missing is like those big ass letters saying, you know the cartoon that I'm talking about. Just big ass letters explaining things because it's so obscure that you can't actually understand. You can't actually understand what's going on with all those letters. Let's see, is there anything more? Blah 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 blah. What's criticism? Critics of rent-sinking theory began to emerge, questioning the ambiguity of the concept of wasted resources and the reliability of the assumptions made from it. Magus, productivity is defined by rent-seeking theorists as a strictly physical property, but ignores the rights that surround and define the product. Okay, this is getting a little bit deep for me to actually understand what's going on in this sentence over here. It further asserts that rent-seeking theorists ignore a fundamental principle of being economic actors, that we live in markets of scarce resources, and it's how we use these resources, which derive supply and demand, and the notion of wasted resources rejects our preferences to allocate those resources. It kind of makes sense. I kind of understand what's going on here. Like, yeah. Rent seeking, we are fighting over resources in rent seeking, but we have preferences over resources, different preferences for how to allocate or how to use these resources. So how do we solve that? We have 1 coin and we have 2 things we need to buy, and we have to decide in where do we spend that coin on. How do we do this? We are not going to come into agreement. We have to fight. So in a technical way. Hold on a second. I kinda got distracted by something that happened on this stream over here. We have to fight over these resources. Or how do we assign it? We're not gonna come into agreement. We have to fight, and over definition, this is rent-seeking, but it's natural. It is inevitable that we have rent-seeking, so it's not 100% inherently bad. It's not 100% immediately bad. I guess that's the meaning of it. Anyway. No. Actually, time to continue. I haven't read a word of this book today. The point is to read a book, but I'm so focused on the guilds over here that I haven't read a shit all about it. I haven't read shit about it. What was even the stream title? This book will never end. Yeah, this book will never end. This book will never end. I might as well just rename the stream. The one big guild tangent. The one big tangent about guilds. The one big tangent about guilds. Because I have all stream, all of it. Yeah, I just went through this. All stream, I just went through this. It's almost 3 hours. 2 hours and 30 minutes. I stopped at 3 hours and we had so much progress today. So much progress on the book today. So much progress. Ah! I'm good. I need a stretch. I needed a stretch. Now, moving on. Juve Argus. Oh, Juvie. What a fucking weird name. Juvie.
Ogilvy.
Ogilvy argues they generated limited positive externality and notes that industry began to flourish only after the guilds faded away. Guilds persisted over the centuries because they redistributed the resources to politically powerful merchants. On the other hand, Ogilvy agrees guilds created social capital, must share norms, common information, and mutual sanctions in collective political action. The social capital benefited the guild members even as it arguably hurt outsiders. This is an interesting point because guild has the good sides. But the bad sides outweighed the good sides. So instead of fixing them, guilds were completely torn down. Guilds were completely torn down and removed from society. Instead of just fixing the good parts of them, they just were completely removed. And now they're coming back through the labor unions. So you may look at the system and say, we need to tear this down completely. But then you need to think about the good parts of it. You're gonna have to rebuild it. Anyway. So what you're gonna do? Are you gonna tear it down completely or just to build it back up again? I mean, it makes sense. You're gonna build it back up again better. But there's gonna be some wasted effort over there. What's better? Tear it down to build it up again or try to fix it? This is food for thought for modern times. The guild system became a target of much criticism towards the end of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th century. Critics argued that it hindered free trade and technological innovation, technological transfer, and business development. According to several accounts of this time, guilds became increasingly involved in simple territorial struggles against each other and against free practitioners of their arts. Yes, again, imagine guilds actually fighting each other. Imagine the labor unions. Imagine the different labor unions fighting each other. Literal wars fighting each other. That is actually, well, you could see it, but it will not be anywhere near comparable to how they were in these times. The most outspoken critics of this guild system were Jean-Jacques Rousseau and Adam Smith, and all over Europe, a tendency to oppose government control over trades in form of laissez-faire free market systems grew rapidly and made its way into the political and legal systems. Yeah, government was being too heavy-handed with its policy, and they're like, nope, free trade, capitalism, ho! Many people participate in the French Revolution, saw guilds as the last remnant of feudalism. We read this paragraph a few times already in the last stream, so I kinda want to skip it. Let's read this one actually. Might be interesting. It is to prevent this reduction of price and consequently of wages and profit by restraining that free competition which would most certainly occasion it that all corporations and the greater part of corporation laws have been established. And when any particular class of artificers or traders thought proper to act as a corporation without a charter, such adulterine guilds as they are called, were not always disfranchised upon that account, but obliged to fine annually to the king for permission to exercise their usurped privileges. I have no idea what this paragraph is about. Nice! It was very interesting. The way that I don't understand it. Oh, I already read this one. It was the 18th and 19th centuries that saw the beginning of the low regard in which some people hold guilds to this day, in part due to their own inability to control unruly corporate behavior. Tide of public opinion turned against the guilds. Yeah, it's kind of why now there's a resurgence of laborers again, a resurgence of labor unions. The guilds were made by the laborers, so they kill the guilds. Now the corporations are made by the how do you call them? The upper leaders, the CEO levels, the shareholders, but they cannot control themselves on their unruly corporate behavior. So now the labor unions are back again to protect the laborers from this sort of thing. It is a back and forth. Because of industrialization and modernization of the trade and industry, and the rise of powerful nation states that could directly issue patent and copyright protections, often revealing the trade secrets, the guild's power faded. After the French Revolution, it gradually fell in most European nations over the course of the 19th century as the guild system was disbanded and replaced by laws that promoted free trade. Yeah, centralization of the power of the government. The government controlled the guilds, but the guilds were also too independent, so the guilds fell when the government continued to increase its power. So they could control more the independence. They could neuter more the independence of the guilds. The consequence of the decline of guilds, many former handicraft workers are forced to seek employment in the emerging manufacturing industries, using not closely guarded techniques formerly protected by guilds, but rather the standardized methods controlled by a corporation. This one is a revealing trade sequence. This is a neat little detail, because a neat little specific detail of guilds. Guilds kept trade secrets closely guarded. And the modern patent system, it reveals those trade secrets. It reveals them, but it gives the government the power to enforce them. So in a way, it's better this way, because instead of monopolizing knowledge, we share this knowledge. It's just that applying this knowledge becomes a matter of judgment from the government. So they can have. There's a thing that happens over here in Brazil where the government breaks patent. The government breaks patents on medicine. If the medicine is too important, the government is gonna produce its own cheap medicine for the people. The companies review if they want to produce. If the companies want to produce something and sell it here, they need to reveal the secrets of their own medicine. But if the medicine is too important, the government is gonna break that patent and produce its own the government is gonna produce its own medicine for cheap to benefit the population. So it is a weirdly more beneficial system for society itself. It's weirdly more beneficial for society. And you also need to know the secret so you can actually study it and know if there's something bad with it. Like if a company introduces a new medicine and starts selling it, and the government says okay, but then you can actually have independent researchers going, oh no, this medicine is bad. Look at what's going on. This medicine is bad. So it gives more power to the people. It is better for humanity itself that the secrets be open and shared. And pre-roll ads are on. I think I need to run 3 minutes ad. Or should I wait? No, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for pre-rolls. Like 20 minutes until I end stream, so... Just 20 minutes until I end stream. I'm just gonna let pre-rolls on. And then I'm ending it. Now. Yeah, where were we? Over here actually. Interest in the medieval guild system was revived during the late 19th century among far-right circles. Fascism in Italy, among other countries, implemented corporatism, operating at a national rather than city level, to try to imitate the corporatism of the Middle Ages. Okay. Influence of guilds. I don't... Oh no, I think I read this. Guilds are sometimes said to be the precursors of modern cartels. That is very funny. Cartels are seen as a bad thing, like really, really bad thing. And the guilds of medieval times were like the precursors of it. And they dominated medieval times. The guilds were dominated to the point that they're actually seen popular. They're actually popular things. They're actually like popular history, popular. Pop culture. They're actually part of pop culture. So popular, they're actually part of pop culture. But they're kind of really bad. Guilds, however, can also be seen as a set of self-employed skilled craftsmen with ownership and control over the materials and tools they needed to produce their goods. Some argue that guilds operated more like cartels than they were like trade unions. However, the journeyman organizations, where at the time illegal, may have been influential. The exclusive privilege of a guild to produce certain goods or provide certain services was similar in spirit and character to the original patent systems that surfaced in England in 1624. These systems played a role in ending the guild's dominance, as trade secret methods were superseded by modern firms directly revealing their techniques and counting on the state to enforce their legal monopoly. Yeah. Some guild traditions still remain in a few handicrafts in Europe, especially among shoemakers and barbers. Blah 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 blah. Modern antitrust law could be said to derive in some ways from the original statutes by which the guilds were abolished in Europe. Yeah. The guilds were forcing too much of their monopoly, so basically similar to how some modern companies operate in modern times. And that's pretty bad. Economic consequences. The economic consequences of guilds have led to heated debates among economic historians. On the one side, scholars say that since merchant guilds persisted over long periods, they must have been efficient institutions. Since inefficient institutions die out, I don't exactly agree with this. Others say they persisted not because they benefited the entire economy, but because they benefited the owners, who used political power to protect them. I believe that institutions have a problem where they start to work not for the people that they're supposed to serve, but for the survival of the institution itself. Institution has a way of degrading into being self-serving. The institution lives only so that the institution works so that only so that the institution lives longer. That is a big problem with corruption institutions. That's the thing that I believe. So I don't exactly believe that inefficient institutions die out. Especially because they are seen as necessary by a lot of people. Unless there's competition between them. Unless there's actual competition between the institutions, but this doesn't exactly happen with the government. Like the government healthcare system, the government whatever, other branches and systems and whatever that you can imagine. They are necessary. So people maintain them because we need, regardless of how bad they are, people maintain them because we need them. And they don't have competition. So how would the healthcare die out? How would a bad healthcare system die out without people, without it actually being, reformed by the government itself? It doesn't. It doesn't naturally die out. Someone has to go and no, enough. We are rebuilding this, and that doesn't happen that often. They say they persisted not because they benefited the entire economy, because they benefited the owners, who used political power to protect them. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of what they're saying. Benefit people. The people in the system the people in the institution benefit from it, so they keep it going because it's their job. But Ogilvy says they regulate the trade for their own benefit, where monopolies, distorted markets, fixed price, and restricted entrance into the guild. Ogilvy argues that their long apprenticeships were unnecessary to acquire skills, and their conservatism reduced the rate of innovation and made the society poorer. She says their main goal was rent-seeking, that is, thrift money. Oh, a yawn. How many yawns have I had? It's been a while since I did a yawn. Controls, please. Mix it up, please. Hello, I have a yawn counter. Mix it up. Are you doing well? Why are you not obeying my controls? Okay, now here if I type, what about? What the fuck? I forgot. What's the? I have a hotkey for a yawn counter. What's my hotkey? Oh no. Oh no. Hotkeys. Control Alt Y, yeah. Yawn counter update. Alt Shift Y. Oh shit, okay. Alt Shift Y. Just do it. Oh yeah, now I did. Okay. I was just confused about my own hotkeys. Been a while since I used them, so and Brown's books reject Ogilvy's conclusions. Specifically, Epstein argues that guilds were cost-sharing rather than rent-seeking institutions. They located and matched the masters and likely apprentices through monetary learning, whereas the acquisition of craft skills required experience-based learning. He argues this process necessitated many years in apprenticeship. The extent to which guilds were able to monopolize markets is also debated. Okay. Medieval period. Women in guilds. Not exactly relevant. Sorry. Early modern period. Declining thesis. Many historians have done research into the dwindling... Oh, okay. There's still women. That's not... Holy shit, there's a lot of stuff about this. My world is very egalitarian, so... It's like, it's a rough world with a lot of dangers. So if you are a strong woman who can swing a sword and kill monsters, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to do that. It's a survival-based world. If you can survive, you can do it, do it. So there's not a lot of male and female distinction about things. Modern quasi-guilds and licensing practice. Professional organizations replicate guild structure and operation. Professions such as architecture, engineering, geology, and land surveying require varying lengths of apprenticeship before one can gain a professional certification. These certifications hold great legal weight. Most states make them a prerequisite for practicing there. Not really interesting. There are often subtle dichotomies presenting and attempting to answer the question of whether modern licensing and accreditation practices are intended to serve the public good, however it be defined. For medieval guilds, this dichotomy is exemplified by differing explanations of the same phenomena of limiting work hours among guild members. Ogilvy argues that this was intended to mitigate competition among guild members, while Terry argues this was to prevent guild members from working late into the night while tired and when lighting is poor, and therefore producing low quality work. And sounds like hope. Sounds like a rationalization. In modern times, more licensing practices are usually argued to in some way protect members of the public, e.g. by ensuring quality standards. It usually can also be argued that these practices have been engineered to limit the number of outsiders who gain entrance to a given field. It's a bit loud. Not too interesting. As argued by Paul Stein and Ronald Hamilton, both of whose focuses on the development of medicine in America, the tying of medical licensing practices to universities was a process intended to do more than protect the public from quackery, but was engineering to be unnecessarily prolonged, inefficient, and a costly process so as to deter outsiders from getting to the field, thereby enhancing the prestige and earning power of medical professionals. Yeah, well, there it's like there's some clear, clear good intentions in it. There's also some bad intentions. You cannot separate these two. There's good, there's also bad intentions. Like with everything related to economic, they take 2 steps forward, 1 steps back. It feels like little by little, but little by little, and very slowly, very slowly we progress forward. But everything we do is like there's always something bad going on along with it. We cannot stop ourselves from being some bastards to ourselves. We can't stop. Humans can't stop themselves from being bastards to themselves. It's like it's in our blood. At least some way, somehow, we need to fuck each other. Fuck each other and fuck over each other. University system. Quasi guilds in information economy. It's like modern times. And we actually finished the article. This is modern times, so less interesting, so not really anything to read about. Not really something I want to read about. Holy shit. 3 hours just to read. Oh, god damn it. Mess with it of this. Like 3 hours just to read 1 Wikipedia chapter. 1 Wikipedia article. This is so incredibly efficient. I don't think I could have made some notes actually. I think I already made notes from last stream. That was enough. That was like the. We just went on tangents this day and looking more deeply into things. But it was very productive, so not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Actually, I have to return to the book. Shit! I have like 10 minutes to burn. I have 10 minutes to burn. I don't want to read a book again. Where were we? Actually, over here. Peculiarities meant the beginning of this. What were you even reading about? Another yawn. 163 times yawn. Not a lot. I haven't been yawning a lot. Usually when I was playing a different type of game, I would yawn a lot. Not a lot lately. That's one. The 1351 decree. What was going on even here? I don't remember. Oh, the guild is the principal agent in the regulation of industry. The legal development all line above on the whole. Finding led to all public powers over industry being gathered together under the state's control. Oh yeah. The state wanted to control everything. So that also meant going away with the guilds. The state, like the central government, not just a government, it's the central government want to have absolute control over everything else. And it didn't have. People were a lot more independent. Local governments were a lot more independent back then. But more important than this was the actual development of regulation itself. It remained to be seen to what extent the monarchy having won back its lost legal rights, be capable of providing a craft organization common to the whole country and adapted to its needs. In this connection, we must first consider the relationship between the monarchy and the guilds, through which craft regulation had taken definite shape, in accordance with the ideas of urban policy. Okay, so the monarchy, the central government, wants to have more absolute power over every facet of government, of administration, which means that they needed to deal with the guilds. They needed to take over the guilds. But they needed to replace them also, because the guilds had its own benefits, local benefits. You can't just outlaw guilds and leave a void over there. They needed to replace it with something. 1351 degree. Okay, what's this? Order the guilds a very subordinate place in its scheme. This does not indicate in any way intention of doing away with the guild institutions. For in various clauses of this very extensive document their existence is taken for granted. They allow outsiders to practice their craft. Okay, this decree. And if any wanted to introduce a new commodity, they are be allowed to do so. Okay. As long as this craft was good and honorable. They're just starting to interfere. They're just slowly starting to interfere with the monopoly of the guilds. Interesting. The guild system to one side might well have led to a uniform policy being built upon foundations other than those of exclusive town policy. Okay, I guess it means that the decree was small, but it was a start. If the French monarchy had any such plans, then the question would probably never be resolved. Subsequent French developments might have been similar to the English, which the Statute of Labor, arising from the same situation, exercised so decisive an influence as will be shown in the next chapter. However, the tendency expressed in the Edict of 1351 was pursued no further. Not interesting. French monarchy from the middle of the 15th century onwards decided to allot the guilds a part in the regulation of industry. Okay. Your activities though the state had paved the way and the very active period that followed proceeded, likewise to strengthen the tendency. But even this did not necessarily imply that the whole of the national organization of industry would have to model itself on the guilds, or that the entire industry of the god on the contrary had to be replaced under the control of a national guild system. The expansion of the guilds, a solution along this line was all the less necessary. The guilds were no more the only form of medieval handicraft organization in France than they were in other countries. One extent French craftsmen were grouped into associations in early times according to the vocation is not an easy question to answer. For in all probability, a considerable portion of such unions had neither official character nor any standing in the eyes of the authorities. On the other hand, the limited occurrence of guilds supplied with offices, invested with legal personality, may easily be verified. Two types of organizations are distinguished perhaps more sharply in France than in other countries. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm actually gonna get more information from reading more Wikipedia than this book, honestly. It's a bit too thick, and I'm kind of losing trust that I can nab more information from it. I think I need to take a look more at the index and laser focus on something that is actually really interesting. Because it's long-winded. That's the problem. This book is long-winded as fuck. Anything he wants to do, because it gives it is a very good historical book because it gives historical examples, but it gives all of the historical examples, and that's not really what I want. That's why the Wikipedia page was superior. It just generalized, condensed information. Generalized condensed information. What the fuck? Who's pinging me? Just some. We're just being silly on the Discord. We're just. Oh no, it's not the Discord. Who's pinging me? Oh god damn it! I don't care about this shit. I have a few programs and other servers, and everyone ping out like, "Oh, I remember you exist." Muted. I'm very against pinging people on Discord. I'm very against pinging people. I only do it in very specific locations, and I add pings, and I add roles for pings because it's distracting. I like to have control over my own notifications. And I've stalled for enough. Like just another minute. Just 5 seconds and I'm not time limit and I can end this. And I'm free! There you go, finally, freedom. I can end this at any time. Now I don't think I wanna... Let me take a look again at the index. Do I want to read any of this? I think I need a break from this book. Let's see, where were we? Man. Yeah, there's too much. Ad break. News, please. There is way too much. Oh, we're here. 1351 degree. Pension of the guilds. Edit. Mobility of labor. What was I reading this about again? Oh, I just wanted to understand mercantilism. I'm reading this book just to understand mercantilism. Guilds are just a tangent, an interesting tangent. Oh, this one. No, I needed to read this one. The administrative machinery of the state, the parliaments, because this is important. This slightly important. Might as well just read it off stream because I have to skip so much stuff to get to the good nuggets. I mean, the tangents are nice, but maybe I should do a parliament study stream instead of a book reading stream. A parliament study stream. Because the law system on the novel, on the arc of my novel is important. Contents of the regulations, the regulations. Oh, penalties, lack of originality. What the fuck? Ineffective zone. Oh yeah, this one feels attacks on inclusiveness of the guilds, the mania for litigation. Litigation? Huh. Fiscal side. Manufacturers, French results compared with English. The handicraftsman. The difference between manufacturing and handicraft. This part seems more of a curiosity than a necessity. Won't be not that great. Interesting. Quantitative superiority of France. Huh. Sounds funny. Attempts of reform in the 18th century, the position at the outbreak of the revolution. Internal regulation of industry in England. Is actually the industrial revolution is actually also relevant because the story that I'm studying does about. I have two stories. One of them is an isekai, the other one is a more green normal fantasy story. The one that it is isekai, you know, it's an isekai, and the dude is an engineer, so he's gonna cause the industrial revolution in the world. He's causing. He brought machines. He started a factory. He made guns. He started machinery. He started manufacturing. He's bringing the industrial revolution into the world. So reading about the industrial revolution is also relevant to this arc. And this is the thing. Do I need to understand them? Do I need to read this? It will be interesting to read. But again, having more productivity reading the Wikipedia articles than this. Like, it's nice to have some in-depth knowledge, but it takes so much work to grab this knowledge from the books themselves. The Statute of Artificers, the Poor Law. I like interesting names, but just as a glance, like if it was I'm addicted to the Wikipedia blue link adventure. I see a blue link, I click it. I see a blue link, it looks kind of interesting, I like clicking. I see Statute of Artificers, what's this? I want to click it. But it takes me, it's such a pain because I can't open a new tab over here and just read it about it. And if I click over here, the Statute of Artificers is gonna be a multi-page long document chapter with huge ass paragraphs, and it's not gonna be, and the first paragraph is not gonna be a summary of what this is, which means I have to read it all for me to actually understand it. So yeah, Wikipedia is like the ultimate way to quickly acquire knowledge. While this is the proper way to build strong foundations, it's not what I need. Fortunately, it's not what I need. I'm a bit biased against Wikipedia because of my teachers. But unfortunately, or fortunately, Wikipedia is still the king. The guilds and rural industry. And the guild's place in local government. That's interesting. Because the guilds are very important in the law-making part of on the story of my world. On my story of my world. Not the story of my world. What? The treatment of rural industry, specific features. I think I'll do one stream about parliaments in lawmaking. And one stream about the Industrial Revolution. I think I'll just drop the book and go for Wikipedias. God damn it, news again. I don't want ad, I'm just stalling. Yeah, I need let's write this down actually. Just stream. Let's... How do I... Strike through... What's this strike through? Control... Okay. No. There's a way to do a strike through. I want to do a strike through. Edit, format. Okay, there we go, strike through. Stream focuses. Now let's delete this one. And how do I call this? Focus streams, whatever. Okay, parliaments, lawmaking. Next streams, though. Next streams. Next stream focus. Next streams focus. Jesus, it's so difficult to make a proper phrasing. I'm very particular about my phrasing because I'm a renter. Parliaments and lawmaking, industrial revolution. Industrial revolution. Jesus Christ. Okay, I wrote it wrongly. I just read it wrongly. The essence of economic regulations. The justice of the peace. The patentees and the central government. Justice of the peace? What the fuck is that? Another thing that I would like to... Another blue link I'd like to click. The essence of the economic regulations. The essence of the concept of monopoly. They did not have a... The essence of the conception of monopoly. I guess they did not have an idea of what monopoly means in our modern sense. Like they just... Yeah, he controls the trade. Like this dude controls the forks. He makes all the forks in town. So they did not have a concept of what we call about monopoly as a bad thing. Come along. Restraints of trade, the court's economic legislation. Results of the Puritan Revolution? I'm anti-Puritan, so... This is another thing I would like to read about. The decay of the industrial code. What's industrial codes? The limiting influence the helplessness of the local corporations. Like, damn, I wish there was like so many. I wish there was Wikipedia so I can read. Treatment of the guild. Treatment of the statute of the artificers. Regulation of the trade in foodstuffs, the ruins of an industrial code. That's interesting. Maybe they tried to regulate the Industrial Revolution and fail. I'm gonna assume it's something like this. The ruins of industrial code. I think they tried to regulate the Industrial Revolution, but they fail. National unification. Yeah, this thing about national unification was so important to understand. This is why I feel so reluctant to... The idea of national unification was not a thing at medieval times, and it gives me such a good idea of how things work, or how feudalism worked, that I feel so sad about dropping this book. Because there are some good nuggets that you can't get under just Wikipedia, under just reading Wikipedia. I need to compare. State enterprise. Oh, this one is also another state enterprise. It's also important for the story. It's also important for the story. State enterprise. Holy shit! I know how to write. Everyone, I definitely don't rely on autocorrect. I know how to write properly. Netherlands. Whoa, Netherlands got a whole chapter for itself. The absolute power of the governance. Not really interesting. England, the joint stock market companies. The joint stock companies. Stock is also another thing that I want to read about, because it's... I don't think it's... I don't think my word is advanced enough for stock markets, but they could become a thing because there are already banks in it, so... There are already banks in it. Oh my god, I'm gonna use my last news. Shit, I'm stalling for too long. Vincenton, the dominant position of London, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Further aspects. Distance of the joint stock. The executors of mercantilism. This is such a... oh shit. This is such a hardcore title. This is such a metal title. Executors of mercantilism. It's almost like a metal band. It's almost like the name of a metal band. And then at the end, ominously, liberalism. No, I think that's pretty much it. Let's actually end the stream now. Let's end this now. Enough. I need to rest. I'm tired. I need to play more. I need to play more Gigantic. I wanna play Gigantic. I bought Gigantic. I wanna play Gigantic. Gigantic. Let me play. Now, who do I raid? Who do I raid? Lots of people to raid today. And I wanted to raid Boom. Let's see, tomorrow is Lapis Thursday. So I'm gonna start about 1 hour earlier than I started today. And I'm gonna end about this time, the stream. Because she has to go to eat early. Time zones are such a pain. Time zones are such a pain. Half my day she's asleep. Evening she's asleep. So lonely. Man, actually a lot of people streaming today. Actually a lot of people streaming today. I kinda wanted to raid her back after this. After she raided me, I kinda rather raid him back. Just because it'd be funny. Okay. Okay. I do what I want and I'm gonna raid her. Okay, so today, Lapis Thursday, Diablo 2. We don't know if we're gonna finish the... I think we're in Act 4. And there's Act 4 and 5. Not sure how long they are because we've never actually played. Neither of us actually played further than this, so... I think... Well, for her, I never played like past Act 1. Thank you, Mimi, for the hand pat. I appreciate it. Let me actually aim this hand pat a little bit better. Let me aim this head pat a little bit better. There we go. Let me head pat myself now. There we go. It's not masturbation. It's just head patting myself. There we go. I think it feels a little bit better now. Big hand for my small little hand. Today was a very productive day. Guilds, basically. Went on a whole tangent about guilds all stream. Read nothing about the book, and I'm happy with it. This was a fun, actually fun study stream. Actually fun study stream. Let's see. Yeah, we tomorrow might actually finish Act 4. Not sure. We don't know how long it is. Friday then there's Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles late night. I actually really like this game. That game. Crystal Chronicles with 4 people. It's very chaotic. But you also need teamwork because you need to share the magic. You need to keep people healing up, and dying is so easy. And well, at least for the dungeon that we were, dying can be so easy and so bad if you don't have any items to revive. It can be so bad. I'm really enjoying it. I hope it gets harder. I hope it gets harder. You likely won't because it's a Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy games are not known to be hard unless you're Tactics. No, even Final Fantasy Tactics is not hard, I think. And then since Friday I'm doing the collab, Saturday is gonna be the AI art on the afternoon, which means Saturday morning for American people. I hope you all didn't go partying too hard on the Friday night so you can watch me on the Saturday. It is required of you to watch me. Do not drink too much. Oh my god, the ads are coming again. I have 2 minutes. I have to end. No, 3 minutes. And then Sunday is Warcraft 3 Custom Games collab. Late night. I actually have a few maps that I want to play, so I'm eager for it. And we have enough people. We just had last Sunday we have a stroke of bad luck where multiple people had problems. Had problems where they could not participate. So I'm like, we don't have enough people to play good maps. I don't know the maps from all people. They're not that interesting. So let's just move. We'll just cancel and try again. And now we are doing it. Now we're actually doing it. But that's pretty much it for my weekend. Now, here's your cute raid message. And take care of your waifus. Take care of your husband. Oh shit! I forgot to turn off the background music. There's already background music on this. There's already enough background music on this. What do you mean? No results found. What the fuck are you? What are you saying? What are you telling me? I can't raid her? What? Twitch, please stop shitting yourself. Twitch, are you serious? She's live and I can't raid Lapis. I literally can't raid Lapis. It doesn't. Okay. How do I do this command on the command? Raid. There we go. See? Nice. Now, take care of your waifus, take care of your husbandos. I'll see you all next time, tomorrow, 1 hour earlier. You better be there. Bye bye.